Good morning. Good morning, everyone. It is Tuesday and I made it. I made it. I made it. Um, I hope everyone is doing well today. I hope that you have peace in your life. And I really just hope that no matter what is going on around you, that you just remember the blessings, because that's what we have to really focus on every single day. So, with that being said, Lord, thank you so much for another day. Thank you for bringing us here. Thank you for our breath. And thank you for the connections that we make along the way that we never even realize how you're going to use those connections in our lives. Lord, thank you for taking our plans and making them yours. Thank you for keeping us going in the hard times so that we can get to the blessings that you already created for us. Thank you for wisdom and guidance and grace and mercy. Thank you for allowing us to be who we are, unapologetically, perfectly imperfect. Thank you for bringing us through the valleys. In Jesus' name, amen. I have to remember to do that. You would think it'd be habit by now, but sometimes I really do have to remember that when things are getting difficult, hey, good morning, that it's gonna be okay. And it's hard to remember that when we're going through situations. Um, but that's when we have that choice of, okay, where am I gonna go with this? I have this card that I've been putting in my book when people order my book. Please go order a copy if you have not already. You just go to jodywatkins.com/store for a signed copy. I have plenty on hand. I bought some more. Not sure if anyone remembers the story of what happened with the publishing company, but that was a lesson learned. And since then, I tell people you can buy it off of Amazon, but please, if you want to truly support me, please go to my website and purchase it there. Not only that, but I send a lot of great stuff. Anybody that knows me knows I don't have to do anything. I pour into people, and that's why with my services I do charge more, because the value of what people are going to get, and they're seeing that, is far more than that investment. And I enjoy being able to do that. So anyway, I have these, and it's called, on the title, it says 4 Ways to Tackle Emotional Overwhelm. And I put on here, it says emotional overwhelm entails more than just being stressed. And this is very, very important for people to understand. And it took me a long time to understand this, right? I mean, I was always just like, what is wrong with me? What is wrong? People would look at me, create my family, and they didn't mean to. They weren't trying to judge me, but it was just, I didn't know what was going on with me. So, of course, nobody around me knew what was going on with me. But it is more than just being stressed. And by definition, being emotionally overwhelmed means to be completely submerged by your thoughts and emotions about all of life's current problems, to the point where you lack productivity and feel frozen or paralyzed. This is where I was before I began writing this book and learning how to truly reclaim my own life. Now, the 4 ways to tackle it, I put practice mindfulness, label the effect, face it, don't run from it, don't mask it, don't try to hide from it, face it, label it, write about it, talk about it, whatever you got to do, but face it. And then this is something that I talked about in my video yesterday, shifting our perspective, reframing our thoughts. What are we choosing to focus on at that moment? You know, um, I've endured a crazy past couple weeks, and I really, really hope that when I post, if you go back, I want you to don't just look at the video yesterday of the pictures of, I mean, I started with the nice new car. I mean, it's not new, it's very used, but it's new to me and it's my dream car. And I started with the pictures of that, but then it went into the pictures of I'm laying in bed miserable. And nobody saw like the mental attacks that were happening, the attacks on my businesses. Nobody saw that part. And then it goes into my other car and how it was totaled. But it's really interesting to me, and this always kind of tells me where people are, which is going to be my post today. So look out for that. It's interesting how people will just see the nice, shiny things. I'm not going to say nobody because a few people did, but looking at the comments, I could tell that not too many people saw the entire story. There was a whole story in those pictures. So like I said, if you go back, it's the reel that I posted last night. If you look at the pictures, there's a whole story there. And that was my past 2 weeks. That wasn't even including the wrist surgery, none of that stuff. It was just the past 2 weeks. And I had to really reframe my thoughts and shift my perspective a lot. And that's what we really have to focus on in life, because we're gonna get attacked, you guys. We're gonna face stuff that is difficult. And if I look back on my life, the fact I'm even still here is a blessing in itself. And I really have to focus on that, because I shouldn't be here. I should not be here. And I'm grateful that my purpose is big enough to where when all these things happen, or I get in a car accident or whatever, I still am here. And if you're still here, if you're on this call, if you're watching this video later, be grateful. Be grateful. Doesn't matter what's going on around you. We cannot control everything around us. That literally, trying to do that led me to a place that I never choose to be again. And we just we have to really just stop for a minute sometimes and just say, well, how am I? How am I? Yeah, I have my book out here because, well, first off, I'm going to read this bookmark to you guys. It's called Don't Quit. But in chapter 1, where I talk about mindset development, the very first step is stop blaming others. Now, does that mean people in your life, in our lives, because I'm just as much a part of this as you are, does that mean people in our lives are not going to not necessarily treat us well or something like that? Not at all. We cannot expect like that. We cannot expect that from everybody. But instead of just blaming everybody else, what are we attracting? Like, when I turned that mirror around and I was just like, wait, what am I attracting? What is Jody attracting? And that was when I started going through this journey of, who am I to other people? I was helping people, but who was I? Was I fully showing up for people? And I definitely was not, because I was trying to pour from an empty cup and I couldn't do it anymore. So when we talk about emotional overwhelm and things like that, just be cognizant of where you are in your life and what you're attracting in your life. And if you need to, turn that mirror around and do a deep dive on your own life. And it's amazing where it can go. But anyway, I want to read this. It's called Don't Quit. This bookmark, I want to say I got this from my mom way back. So my mom passed away in 2009, so it was before then. Um, but it says, don't quit. It says, don't quit when the tide is lowest, for it's just about to turn. Don't quit over doubts and questions, for there's something you may learn. Don't quit when the night is darkest, for it's just a while till dawn. Don't quit when you've run the farthest, for the race is almost won. Don't quit when the hill is steepest, for your goal is almost nigh. Don't quit, for you're not a failure until you fail to try. And that's by Jill Wolfe. That's really good, you guys. And it's crazy because I've had this bookmark for so long, and I can tell you that that's probably the first time I've read it all the way through. And it's been in my book. So I started reading my book again because I was like, I gotta um I gotta remember what I was doing during that time. And it's just tools. I was talking to a good friend of mine yesterday, actually, when I was getting the car because it was her dealership, and I was talking to her, and I said, I never try to tell people how to live because what works for me doesn't work for everyone else. But if we can just share tools that can help other people, why would we not do that? So that's what I tell people. I mean, my book, it could help change your life, but is it going to change your life? No. You can't just read it and not do anything. It's just like reading the Bible. If we just read the Bible and don't do anything, it's not going to help us at all. So we have to be willing to accept tools, first of all, and then we have to be willing to use tools. So even if you do purchase a book and you get one of these flyers in here that talks about ways to tackle emotional overwhelm, even if you do that, even if you read this flyer and you read, the practicing mindfulness, label and effect, if you read all those things and you don't use it, like honestly, you guys, I have one of these in my car. I use my own stuff. I have to. I have to. And so just remember, when you have all these tools in front of you, use the tools that are going to work for you, but actually use them. All right. It doesn't matter what's going on. Like I said, it doesn't matter what's going on around us. We have to really just stay focused and have that faith that we can keep pulling through the hard times and that God's got us. Yesterday, that when I talked about that platinum purpose, oh my goodness, that hit home with me. I sent it to a whole lot of people too. And we are gonna get taken through the ringer. That's why I really hope that people don't just look at my highlight reel. Like there was a lot of story behind every single picture that I post. And that's what I tell people, like even everybody that's on here, like everybody has a story. We all have a story, but people only look at the highlight reel. Don't just look at the highlight reel. Know the person behind the picture. Know the story. Care about the story. That's why I have the podcast. You know, I want to hear people's stories because it's the story that matters. It really is. Um, I'm sending out newsletters. It was funny yesterday. I was texting people to see if, because I always ask permission. I don't just send these out. But yeah, so this is what a lot of people will be getting. Now, I made these in May, so perfectly imperfect. I'm just now sending them out the end of July. Yeah. But anyway, I love creating, but I don't like doing the extra admin stuff. So when I get a chance, I'm gonna have to hire somebody for that. But for right now, I am sending them out. And I texted people yesterday and I said, hey, I'm, doing my newsletters finally. I said, would you mind if I send you one? And, most people are like, yes, that's fine. Great. Send me one. Yeah. Like, all right, cool. Can I have your mailing address? People sent me their email address. I said, no, 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 no. Actual mail. Like, so, we get so caught up in like this world of technology, right? That we actually forget that, hey, we can still write people. We can still do that. And maybe I'm old school, but anyway. I wanted to go over that stuff a little bit today. Uh, I don't ever know where these calls are gonna go, you guys. I'm not even gonna lie. I don't come up with a plan before I get on here. I probably should, but I just don't. That would be too much stress for me first thing in the morning. It's too early for that. So I get on here, I share my journey, and I hope and pray that it helps the right person. And that's it. And I have a ton of other options. If you need more tools or any of those things, just let me know. But anyway, it is Tuesday. Today is my husband's birthday. He's over 40. So we're over the hump, both of us. I'm still older, so he still makes fun of me, but it is his birthday. So I am going to take care of me first thing in the morning, like I'm doing right now. And then I am going to, enjoy the day. I really hope that you do the same. I'm starting a new devotional right now. It's called Stand. And today was pretty interesting. The Bible verse, well, it comes from Luke chapter 21, and it's verses 16 through 19. And it says, "But you will be betrayed even by parents, brothers and sisters, other relatives and friends, and they will put some of you to death. And you will be hated by all people because of my name. And yet not a hair on your head will perish. By your endurance, you will gain your lives." When I read these verses, I honestly wish that I had read it, 30 years ago. Timing, it's all about timing, right? I don't know if I would have carried back then. Because I've lived so much of my life thinking about pleasing everybody else. Or when people close to me, because I'll be honest with you guys, it's strangers that support me mostly now. It's not the people that were closest to me. And if you have a business, if you are doing any of those things, or you're an entrepreneur, you're going to find that too usually, right? And so that was really hard for me though, because I didn't understand it. Like, I support everybody. I support, as many people as I can. I can't support everybody all the time, but I do support as many people as I can. And it tells you right here, like, you're gonna be betrayed by your own people. You're gonna be betrayed by the people that you feel should be supporting you the most. You're gonna be betrayed by a lot of people. And if you are, for those of us who believe in God, we're going to be betrayed even more. We're going to have people turn against us. We're going to have best friends say they don't want to talk to us anymore. But by your endurance, you will gain your lives. I don't care how many people judge me anymore. I don't care if people don't want to talk to me because I believe in God. I don't care anymore, because this is what saved my life. And that's more important to me. So if you're in that space where people are judging you, they're falling off, they don't want to talk to you, oh, you're trying to be better than me. Not at all. If you're in that place, it's okay. Don't worry about it. Keep going. Okay. All right, you guys, I'm going to wrap this up. Today is July 26th, and the title is Sometimes Loving is Difficult. God's encouragement. This is from Ephesians chapter 5, verses 1 through 2. It says, "Imitate God, therefore, in everything you do, because you are his dear children. Live a life filled with love, following the example of Christ. He loved us and offered himself as a sacrifice for us, a pleasing aroma to God." So sometimes showing love to a family member is difficult. Jesus understands. When he gave himself as a sacrifice for sinners, for us, he wasn't treated well by mankind. He was crucified, but he loved us so much that he died for us. What does sacrificial love look like? It sometimes involves forfeiting a dream, a comfort, or convenience. But loving our families the way God loved us brings great joy to us and to God. It says, Father, help us to love like you love. Amen. When I was reading that just now, and it says it sometimes involves forfeiting a dream. I've done that a lot. I don't regret any of it, but one of the things that I had some enlightenment yesterday because I was like, why did I never get that car? Why did I never do that? I mean, I wanted that car since I was 16. Why did I never do that? And I try to not overanalyze things like that. But every now and then I'm just kind of curious of myself, like, why didn't I? And I thought about it and I was just like, oh, when I saw that car in California, when I was in California, I was 16. I have family out there. I've been out there a long time, but I have family out there. One uncle left. But anyway, my great grandmother had flown me out there. I was 16. And I was hanging out with one of my uncles. And I remember we were, driving around Beverly Hills and Hollywood. And I'd never seen really all these nice cars, from a small town over here. And I remember seeing that BMW 325i convertible. And I was like, wow, one day I want that car. Now, I think I was only there for like a couple weeks, maybe it was during the summer, in between my junior and senior high school year. I came back, I got to the Jacksonville airport, and nobody was there to pick me up. And I basically became homeless at that point. Most people don't know my junior and senior year were very rough. I was living with different people. It was crazy. But anyway, I lost my scholarship that I've been working really hard for because I wasn't always able to get to school. I couldn't play basketball all the time because my grades started falling. And that's how things started to trickle out of control. And back then, I didn't have anyone to say, hey, this is just going to be temporary. Get your stuff together and, get your head out of your, and keep pressing. And so I just kept trying and trying and trying and failing and trying and failing and trying. And like, but that bookmark says the same thing that I tell people, unless you quit, you're not failing. But back then I didn't know that. Anyway, here we are, fast forward. And for once in my life, I now know that what happens in our lives is for us. Every single part, everything that happened to me when I was younger is helping me help other people now. It's helping me be the person I am today. It's helping me be a better person. Everything I went through is coming full circle now. And everything that I continue to go through, I'm just being polished. I'm that platinum, the platinum, right? We're that platinum, so we just keep getting polished at high heat. If you didn't see yesterday, go back and look at the video yesterday. High heat. We're taking through the ringer for a greater purpose. So anyway, I hope you have an amazing day. Thank you for joining me this morning. Thank you for taking time out of your day. And I definitely hope and pray that you are in a better place than you were when you first came on here. And I'm definitely going to do my best to keep doing this stuff. And, like I said, it's for the people who want it. And, I can't help everyone, but if I can just be here and share part of my journey that helps someone, gives them a glimpse of hope when they're where I've been and I didn't have any hope. If that's what it's for, then that's what it's for. So, but don't just look at the highlight reel, you guys. Look at the stories behind people. Ask questions. I love to ask questions. I'm a curious person. Ask a lot of questions. I love to learn about people. And pay attention sometimes, because sometimes people will tell you a lot about themselves and they don't even have to say anything. Anyway, I hope you have a great one, and thank you for joining me, and I will hopefully see you tomorrow. All right, bye.